Hey, 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 everyone. It is time for us to do a Savvy Sister interview, and I'm very excited about this. First of all, I'll tell you about while people are getting on, we're going to be talking about uh, just enjoying the journey. Enjoying the journey, guys, enjoying. And when you enjoy the journey, and we're really letting go of the process. So, a lot of people, I'm in the sun and it's driving me crazy. It shouldn't be that way. I got the lights all doing their thing. I think I got too much. I don't know. I'm going to change my chair. But anyway, when we enjoy the journey, then as Abraham Hicks says, we're in the vortex. As Bob says, we are loving the life. When we're doing good morning, Kristen, as I don't know what Tony Robbins says, but I'm sure it's along the same lines. And I don't know why I can't seem to get out of the light, but it's still lit. Okay, and I don't want to stand. Maybe I'll go to another room. But anyway, hi. Okay, now I wrote down your name. Our guest is here, and I am so excited about this topic because this is something people get angst. They just get angst all the time. I hear it. Now, let me pronounce. I wrote it down. Okay, wait. Adera. Adera. I wrote your name down phonetically. It's Adera Angelucci. Now I probably murdered that. I pray I didn't. Okay, now we want to invite you on. Okay, can you press the little button that says that you want to be on the camera? And it should be at the bottom. Oh, I did well. Thank you. Adera. I know that. I love that name. So Adera Angelucci, she is, no, you can't press it. You got it. Okay, let me see if I can invite you. Because sometimes my inviting you doesn't work. Oh, shoot. Nope, I don't want that. I want to just invite you. There you are. Okay, I'm going to invite you. I hope. You've got to request it. Allow your viewers to request. I did. Adera, you have to request it. I can't let you on unless you request it, which I don't understand that in the least. I mean, if you're watching, why can't you be added well, I guess if you want to, I guess you do have to request it. All right, but I want to get you on quickly. So can you request being on? And Kristen, we got to get that we send that out to people so they know. And anyway, so here we are. She should be able to get on pretty quickly here. But I want to talk about this because I can't see it on my phone. Keep stalling, okay? Thank you, Adera. I will. No. I talk to people all the time, and they're always in an angst when they're going on their journey to their business. They set a goal, and then all of a sudden they worry about it. I'll give you a for instance. I'm not angst, but I'll tell you what, I have an event planned for January. My November one's filling, but my one, which is fantastic, that's a renewal and retreat. Guys, if you really want to fill your cup so that you can give more to people, this is the mini retreat is for you. And Kristen, we'll put that link below too. But that is, the holiday season, we give. Well, how about if we fill our cup first and we learn how to keep that balance and we learn how to keep that renewal all the way through the holiday season so that we can give and give. And I did not mean to do this as an ad, but the link will be below if you're interested. Great to mini time. You don't need to spend a lot, but it's a great gift for yourself. But on top of that, she's got me. She's got you on the phone. Good. I don't see where to join. Well, where can you join? Go to the little man with the picture. Hi, Sarah. Go to the little, and it says, oh, there you are. Now I can add you. Fantastic. Changing, and you are adding, my dear. You're going to be on. You're connecting. You're here. Don't worry. Don't ever get angst. It always works out some way. Hey. Hi.
Nice to meet
Adera. No, I had it. Adera, right? Adera.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay, good. All that French and Italian that I studied has paid off.
Exactly.
And
Awesome.
German. All right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're, first of all, could you tell them a little bit about yourself and why I chose to have you here?
Yeah. And I thought the
Your
topic was
credentials.
just, sorry, go
Your
ahead.
credentials, basically.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah. So I thought the topic was just so on point because my career has been such a journey. And sometimes we don't allow ourselves to just go with the unfolding of it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we're trying to come up with the label or the title or the thing,
And
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 sometimes,
getting it filled or buying or having people buy or whatever we're trying to do. We get caught up with what we want the results to be.
yes, yes. And I found, since I have created some amazing results, which I'll go through, but once you get there and you have those results, you still want more. It's not
Aha.
like you get someplace or something where life is just perfect now, or when you get the things, the feeling isn't what I thought it was going to be, right?
It's not a feeling of completion, and it's not a feeling of it's not a feeling of completion, and it's not a feeling of total satisfaction. It really isn't.
No, I don't feel like we as humans are programmed to be totally, say, satisfied with things or accomplishments. I
Exactly.
feel like our complete satisfaction really does come from self-love and
Ourselves.
the truth of who we are. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, I'll just give you a brief little summary so people can know sort of why you might have picked me. I had a huge dream to have my own TV show when I was just in high school. I had said to all my friends, I'm going to have my own show, and I was this wild, ambitious, passionate girl who didn't go to broadcasting school and just thought, life is going to hand me this, no problem. I'm sure you all can relate. Coming out of college or high school,
Sure.
just thinking, life's going to hand it to you, no problem. No, not really. That's not kind of what usually happens. And you go through the journey. And so mine started, I've had like 66 jobs. Okay. So
You beat me. That's more than me.
I tried a lot of things.
Yeah.
But during that time, it was all my collage, I like to say, of experience to get to who I needed to be to have the things that I wanted. So I worked on cruise ships, and I worked at the radio station, and I would host these little segments for a community TV show. I'm Canadian, everybody. So I'm a Canadian sister.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I turned 30 and I had gotten my own show. I finally actualized this dream that I had had for so long. And it took 12 years. Like, it wasn't quick, right? Yeah. But you could see all along the journey how everything sort of built on itself, right? Exactly. And the person that I was when I got the thing that I wanted was who I needed to be, I guess, to have it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Because, well, it's the law of gestation. It's a universal law. It's the law of, we want this. We set the seed. We set our intention out there. But who we are today is not necessarily the person who would have that goal that we want. We have to grow into that goal with the experiences and the journey. And see, that's why it's so important to enjoy the journey. Because when we don't enjoy the journey, what happens is we put up resistance. You didn't put up resistance.
Well, when it doesn't look the way you think it's going to look, you have obviously
a little.
Yeah, you have two choices. You can either like pout and give up totally and just get a job and like let go of the dream,
and that's so sad.
Which is so not allowed. It's not allowed, everybody.
No, it's really not allowed.
To step to the plate. Yeah, we really have to feel the fear and go for it. But or you just allow the journey to take you wherever it's going, because like I love that.
You grow.
You have to grow into it. And we can't be missing that piece. Like a lot of us are just trying to get to the destination, and you're missing the drive.
You're missing it.
You know?
It really, and like we said, when you get what you want, then all of a sudden it's not it's not enough. It's not it. So it's
Right. We want something else.
yeah, you want something
Yeah.
else. And the
Totally.
journey itself is it's where we live. And
Right.
it's all that growth that happens and those challenges. If you guys are having trouble, staying on the path, read Think and Grow Rich, the chapter on persistence. Because you'll see that the people in there, it wasn't the most talented that makes it to the top. It's not the most talented that gets the product out there or whatever. It's not that person. Most of the time, it's the most talent that give up. And why do people not make it? 97, 98% of them give up.
Yeah, they don't believe in themselves.
They don't believe in it. They don't have the course. They don't stay the course. But it's those challenges that we have that make us grow to be the person that that would be that goal, that would have that goal.
That's such a great book. Thank you so much for referencing that.
Yeah.
We actually brought Sharon Lechter to town in February, and she
I
spoke
love
all
her.
about. Yeah. So, yeah, it was amazing. It's an amazing book. I encourage everybody to get it. It's just really digestible and amazing, just examples of how life's not easy for a lot of people who have, gone and done something that they were really proud of in their life, right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So tell them about your TV thing and what you accomplished with all this.
Yeah, well, that was that was just my dream. I mean, not everybody wants the show. Maybe they want, to be an astronaut, or I don't know, right? It's all individual. So when I was in that and I had the thing that I wanted and I was feeling so, when you, I guess, accomplish something that you really set your mind to, and you fulfill it, it does bring this beautiful sense of pride, I suppose. And then just like that, I met the man of my dreams, and I had been looking for him for years, right?
Yeah.
But it was so interesting because I had to really align with who I really was before he would show up for me. This is a whole other thing around finding true love. But anyway, so him and I really connected, and it was the first time I'd ever been with a man who equally balanced my interest in him. It was always why isn't he texting me back? Or what does this mean? Or, all the other relationships, there was always a conflict with the love.
Yeah.
And this one was just very easy flowing. So it was a beautiful thing. And he brought to the table, he was a video guy and an editor and a writer. And on my side of the TV show, I was always producer, host, and marketing person.
Right.
So if he wanted to open a video company with me and see if we could just kind of do this on our own, because he had some lofty dreams too about being a writer, and he's very creative as well, which is wonderful. And so now we've run a video company. We've won a couple awards, and we've had a second TV show since then, but it's been 6 years of us doing this together.
Oh my gosh.
Running this video and marketing company. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And what I love about it so much is that I get to feature, and I'm really trying to hear about the journey again.
Right.
2 things, actually. One is I'm trying to niche, which everyone tells you to do, but it's so hard.
It's very hard to niche.
Yeah, why is it so hard? Just say no.
So many great things. And when you're in one niche, you see over here, and it's another niche that's really, really cool, and they're doing wonderful things in the world. So your niche has to be very general.
Right? And I believe you're multi-passionate as well. It's really hard to put baby in a box, I don't.
It is. I do the same thing. You know what? For my radio show, I have a radio show on Movo and on iPod show. And she said, well, it's called 30-Minute Moments. And she said, well, what do you want to do? Because if I get into one niche, I thought, oh my gosh, because I've got so many age groups that are listening. I thought, let's just do for betterment and ease in your life. You cannot get more general. Everything. But it's
I love it.
Yeah. So I get
the catch-all. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So, but I am very clear that over this journey, to where I am now at 37, that I really care about change makers and leaders in their own right, making waves in the world that are different, and that happens in our food industry, that happens in our travel industry, and it happens in our like coaching, spirituality, healer, author, all of that sort of amazingness. And so those are the three, I would say, industries that I care about most. And sharing their stories and bringing them to light, basically through video, through marketing, really like helping them step up to the plate and attract more people or whoever they need. I mean, we all think we want $1 million and we all think we want hundreds of thousands of people to follow us. But to be honest, that's a lot of responsibility, number one. And number two, success to you, your own personal success could be 100 solid people and small, intimate gatherings and connections and conversations, which I think I'm more like in my age, I'm realizing that it isn't necessarily this big grandioso, step up on the stage. It is more of the intimate, real conversations with people that I can connect with.
I like that too. I like that too. That's why I like to do the small retreats most of the time, because I love to connect with the people. And then I do a lot of smaller retreats, but then I do the bigger too, of course. I'm speaking to, a lot of people out in LA, but I do speaking all around. But when I do my own, I try to keep it smaller. And, and it is funny. And guys, I want to ask you, do you see, because we're talking about enjoying the journey, when Adara, and I'm getting it. Adara,
really getting good now.
Yeah, I am. When she talks, can you see the passion? Do you see that she's right in the zone? That she, you know what I mean? All of a sudden she starts talking about the different niches she's doing. She is right in the zone. She's right. And the universe is saying, yes, she loves this. She's thriving on it. And so that's when things start coming to you. There's no worry, doubt, and fear in her voice. There's no, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. No, this happens. This unfolds. This is where I'm going. That's the difference. That's the difference right there. And look at how you watched it unfold,
Yeah.
Even the love of your life comes in when it's supposed to come in. All of us who are fretting all the time, it comes in.
The worrying is just wishing for what you don't want, and the fretting isn't helping the energy to blossom into who you want to be when you're with another person, right? So,
right.
Yeah. And the self-love was huge for me. Like I went on this, this is the story actually I'm telling next week at this talk. I got like this 8-minute talk about how I found the love of my life. And it's my own love. And I went to Ireland to meet Gerard Butler. I watched P.S. I Love You, and I fell in love with Gerard's character, if any of you women have seen that movie. And I thought all Irish guys were like that. And I got there and I was so wrong. And he's from Scotland, just FYI.
Cute.
And so anyway, I hung out there for 9 months, and I ended up in this meditative group. They all studied under a guru named Sri Chinmoy, and I became celibate and vegetarian, and I wore white, and I meditated, and basically it stripped me down to just me. And I did come back with the love I was looking for. And in the love of myself, that's when everything started to unfold a little more easily for me. Because I wasn't trying to be something. I was just going for the things that brought me joy, I suppose.
That's exactly right. It's an acceptance of ourselves. It's just saying, you know what? This person that I am is a beautiful, beautiful person in every respect, with every mistake, with every flaw on this journey. It's just knowing that we ourselves are truly beautiful. And accepting us who we are, when we do that, then things start to unfold.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also it makes the journey so much more fun. Most of the time when people are angst about the journey, they're not angst about they're going through. They're angst about themselves dealing with it. You know what I mean? They don't feel they have the control over it. Well, I'm not good enough to have it. This isn't pulling together. This is all my fault because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Do you see? And they attack themselves. And when we say let go, we're saying let go of that. That's what you're letting go of. You're letting go of all that harshness you're putting on yourself, because you can't be as excited as her if you're beating yourself up. You just can't.
No. Yeah, and the beating yourself up, I mean, it is, I think, like a safety thing for people. It just keeps them small, and it just doesn't let them go and do anything. And, and it just, keeps them in this like stuck spot,
It
basically,
does.
right?
It does.
And it's really like ripping like the veil of like that
Taking it
fake,
off.
story that you're telling yourself that people told you probably.
Yeah.
And it's like learning to do that work of understanding who your voice is and somebody else's voice.
Yeah.
And like really wanting to serve yourself, because you're going to be no good to anybody unless you're really taking care of you. And taking care of you means telling yourself lovely things and learning that you're a unique individual in this world with a gift to share and, love to give. And why would you deny anybody that? But first you're denying yourself that. So yeah, that angst needs to go.
That angst needs to go. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do have
Mm-hmm.
a question for you, because you've
Mm-hmm.
done the white robe, you really strip yourself down. And no, that's cool. I met somebody last week who did he gave away, he was worth millions. He gave all of it away.
Wow,
Everything. And
that's
he went to the
amazing.
white robes and he says he's never felt happier. See, guys, money is not it. I know those who don't have money think, oh, money would solve all my problems.
Yeah,
Okay, it does pay the bills. But
it does.
I know so many people who have so much money and they are so freaking unhappy. And yet I see other people going on the journey and they are happy. So the others who are wonderful, who do have money and they're still working at 80, that's Bob, still working and still doing things because they love it and they already have all the money they could possibly want. You know,
Right.
it's the journey. But I want to ask you this. When you were down in just getting rid of everything of that you don't want in you, or just learning to accept you, didn't
Getting
you,
rid of the angst, basically.
and
Yeah.
the angst, didn't you find that it was well, in the, what is it, Twinkle in Time or whatever that is, that movie,
Oh, the
uh,
wrinkle.
The Wrinkle. Oh yeah, I goof up every name of every movie in the whole wide world,
That was
and I
funny.
love movies. And I also can't tell a joke. Honest to God, I can't. But anyway, A Wrinkle in Time, and she says, "I give you the gift of your faults." I love that line. So
Mm.
when you were stripped down and just dealing with you, wasn't it just the time that you started to accept the so-called faults that turn out to be the gifts? Did you find that happening to you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And more so just enjoying like beingness, and not trying to label anything or identify with anything. I think that's what the stripping is. So I didn't have any money in my bank account, and I really didn't have anything really. I had a job I didn't really love, but that was just to pay the bill. And then I was doing all this like inner work of, and it is like unfolding these layers of yourself, like really tapping into the things that you really enjoyed as you when you were a kid, and like
Yeah.
the moments that you
Yes.
felt the most alive,
Yeah.
and realizing how people were saying things to you that were either amazing and positive and I never listened, or saying things to me that were detrimental to who I wanted to be,
Yeah.
because I definitely had those,
Yeah.
like get a real
We all
job
have.
and blah
Yeah. Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the coolest part,
Heard
the
that.
coolest, yeah. I just gonna tell everybody, like, the coolest part of the whole thing is that it doesn't stop. Like,
No.
it is a constant practice. I am constantly uncovering new things about myself. And I think it's like when you realize that you're the wonderland, and you're full of all of these amazing, I don't want to quote your body is a wonderland, but I might. I just did. But it truly like holds all of this information,
Yeah.
and it holds all this emotion, and it holds a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's like learning how to process it, how to get rid of it, and how to like go in the world in a way that you feel so aligned with like your purpose, your soul's being to
Everything.
be here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that you said a really cool thing. And you guys, if you can just start thinking of when you were younger and what it was that just let you feel so incredibly free?
Mhm,
What
mhm.
was that? What was it? And for me, I'll give you a for instance, because it doesn't have to be something profound. Me, it was riding my bike as fast as I could down the hill or being
Ah,
on a roller coaster. I love that. I just love it. I love the element of surprise. I love that element of freeness of flying. I love that. That's as a kid, that was the coolest thing. So, what was yours?
well, I'll say in
Yeah.
a sec, but I'm curious to know how you incorporate those things into your life now.
Ah,
Do you?
we're switching roles.
I know. Sorry. Usually I do the interview, so
I know.
this is
That's
yeah.
perfect. I love it.
Uh,
How I equate that in now, because
yeah, like how does that fit into?
because I'm one who says if it's not fun, I always make it fun. And
Nice.
I do love speed. So, I love that speed. Either, if you get me on a roller coaster now, I'm like, you can't get me off. So,
Really?
oh gosh, yeah, I love it. I just love it. So, I also love that in my life. I like to always see motion. I always love to see it moving forward. And when I help other people, and I enjoy that, and I enjoy it as it goes. And I found that I'm progressing very fast in where I want. And
Yeah.
but I've also had the credentials, but still just going. And when I help other people, I help them see the freeness. I'm all about freedom of the
Beautiful.
mind, freedom of the really getting, well, you don't even know what I do
That's
is
my
I help
value.
people to have that freedom of the mind so that they can tap
Hmm.
down into their soul and become who they
Hmm.
really are, get that passion, that acceptance, that love, and also all those wonderful gifts of the spirit. So yeah, there, now you got my interview.
I
But
love it.
that's how I brought it in here. Every day is an adventure and it's always moving. You know what I mean? I love it. Yeah. So, guys, look
You-
at your life.
yeah.
What was it? What was yours when you were a kid?
Yeah. So for me, I just have this vivid memory, and maybe it's because I have a video, which I can't wait to get off my VHS and share. But I was my dad was dancing with me, and we were dancing to this '80s tune on like the fire mantle. And I just remember looking at him, thinking he is lit up right now. Like he is so like at 3 years old, I was like, he is in joy. And so I get my most favorite moments is seeing people be free and
Yeah.
just expressing themselves. The self-expression
Lot of
piece,
lot of
I think, is
similarities.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. It's humongous.
Hmm.
See, so what is it with you guys out there? What
Yeah.
that just really let you feel free and feeling good. That is a big key in how to lead your life.
Most
And
definitely.
that's how you want to feel in your life. So
Hmm.
that's what you want to start incorporating. Not that I get on a roller coaster every day, but I'm telling you, I really do have to make things fun. If they're not fun, this most likely I won't do them. So,
That's amazing.
but it's not like it has to be fun. You got to understand that because life isn't always fun. But how can
Right.
I make it fun?
Right.
I always say when I have three boys, and I always say Saturdays I was like a what is it? A cab driver from 9 to 5. I'm driving them everywhere. And I remember my oldest got in and said, "Mom, we have to go one more place and we have to hurry." And I thought, I am going to scream. This is not fun. Now we do this every day in our life. How many times do we accept situations like that?
Right.
I don't accept it. So I said, we're going to stop at a coffee shop. And he said, we don't have time. And I said, oh, yes, we do. And I went in and I got my favorite drink, not the locale, the favorite drink. And I listened to music and I started talking to everybody. And I spent a good 5-10 minutes in there. He's like going crazy. I didn't care. I raised my vibration and I got back in the car feeling good. And I said, we're turning on my music. We ended up singing. We changed we made it fun. That's big.
That's
That's,
huge. Yeah.
that's what you want to do
It,
with your journey.
uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if we're lucky, we'll have these memories or
Yeah.
moments where we can feel really good about who we were being in them. We
Yes.
weren't snooty and we weren't bitchy and we weren't resentful
Oh,
and we
yeah.
weren't angry and we weren't, we were in joy and we were enjoying all the things that life had for us, and we made things fun or adventurous, or you know, those are the things I think that we leave with, and people are going to have wonderful stories to share about here.
We have to look at, yeah, I went somewhere. I think, you know, you're right. We have to think back, you know, once you figure out that first step, if you really start thinking about, how do I want to remember myself?
Mm-hmm.
How do I
You know,
want to? That's big.
yeah. Yeah, one thing I really love that I heard a lady say once was, how do I want to experience myself in this moment?
Ooh,
So
like that.
yeah, so like just checking in with, like, whether you're at the kids soccer game or you're standing in line at a Tim Hortons, that's our coffee shop.
Yeah, we have it now
you
too.
would, yeah, oh nice. We ask ourselves, how do I want to experience me in this moment? Do I want to feel like I'm feeling, or do I want to change that? Because really, we are just dictated by our emotions most of the time. And they're ever moving. They're never stagnant. An emotion can switch out in 2 seconds with information, or, you know, whatever we're receiving, right? So it's just learning, I think. I think what makes people happy, or people who live in happiness or joy, they're very much easily able to switch out of their emotions.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. They don't get stuck for long.
They don't get stuck for long. They actually, and that's what it is. They just kind of know that's where they want to be.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be. So where do you want to be? And
where do I want to be?
Yeah, where do you want to be?
You know, I want to just be right here, I think, right now. I'm constantly trying to be so ambitious with my life, and I'm doing this, like, teacher training with Marianne Williamson right now. It's it's free. I really encourage people to listen to it. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
And she was saying that your ambition sometimes gets in the way of what the divine is wanting.
Always. I don't even think it's sometimes.
Like, oh.
I think it's always the ambition can get it. Yeah.
So I'm just sort of like playing with that right now, because I launched my personal brand, and I've been helping women really step into their message. I find when I was doing video work, a lot of ladies would, and women, I really want to share the feminine voice. I really want to share our wisdom, and I would love to see us step up as leaders. And I find that they hide easily, and not really own their brilliance, own their story, own the message more so.
Right.
And I really want to ignite those women to really go at it, because I need them. We need them to.
We need them in the world. Do you know? Really, this is true. I was at something in New York, okay, a mastermind, and the guy was saying, it was a guy who was there, and he was saying, you know, there are so few women speakers that you can really have. And I thought, really? Because I see them everywhere. No, I'm speaking at something in LA. There are 27 men and 3 women.
Wow.
So we aren't. I know there's a lot of women who should be up there.
Yeah.
But they're not.
No.
And they're not stretching that way. Why are we hiding? You know, and that's why I started Savvy Sisterhood.
Right.
You know, for the exact same reason, to help a woman find her voice, to feel that confidence, that strength, and the compassion. You know, because it's from that love that if we got our life by love, we wouldn't have the angst. We wouldn't, we'd know that where we were going was correct, because it's from love, treating people with love, treating our situation with love, treating ourselves with love. Love is the key. It really is. You know?
I like it. And then a part of me, I love it. Yeah. And then a part of me always has to, like, every time I'm wanting something for someone else, and I see all these amazing women in the world that I know that I just want to promote and put on pedestals, I think too, like, is there something in me that wants to be said as well? Or, you know, sometimes maybe I'm deflecting a little bit. So I think I'm needing to just own right now my own brilliance too, and being able to see what I can maybe bring of myself to the table in a more vulnerable way, if you will. So I'm on a journey.
We're all on a journey. And it's a good journey. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you'll do it, you know, and it always comes when you're just the most relaxed and accepting and everything starts to happen. It really does. I have enjoyed this interview so
Me
much.
too.
So
Yes.
how can people learn more about you, your show, watch your show, whatever it is that you would like? How can they do it?
Yeah, so I'll just put them, adaraangelucci.com is my website. And then from there, it'll kind of take you around and you can see I have a retreat too in the new year coming up out here on Vancouver Island. I would love to connect more with you though, because I feel like the more gathering we can do and the more we work together and collaborate as women, I feel like that is our strong suit, is
It
really
is.
working together. And
We're
even though we share,
unstoppable.
I want to share a similar message with the people I work with. I want it to almost be exactly the same, except it's just delivered differently and it's a different
Right,
experience. Because
right.
my whole bookshelf behind me is full of the same message. It's just said 1,000 different ways, and
I
one
know. Mine
day
too.
it will
Mine,
resonate with me.
yeah.
Yeah, right. So
I love it. We will
yeah.
stay in touch. I have no
Okay.
doubt that we're going to stay in touch. Oh, thank you, guys.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna put her link below because her name is kind of different.
It's weird.
Not too
Yeah.
much, but we're gonna get it down so you can look her up. And guys, listen, I'm telling you, one way, you know, when we were doing that mini retreat, you will see things about yourself, and you will start loving this, because that is part of nourishing yourself and renewal. It's so important. So look
So
that up
important.
too. Yeah,
Yes.
so important. But
And I
anyway,
want to do, I just
yeah,
quickly before we go out, I just want the ladies to know that that renewal piece is so important, because it's when we actually take care of ourselves and take the downtime
yeah,
that the actual mystery unfolds for us.
yes,
It's not in the doing,
yeah.
it's really in the relaxing. So I
It's
very much
relaxing.
encourage
That's
you to
why
do that.
I'm having you relax first.
Yeah.
Because that starts to unfold everything. And what
Yeah.
a beautiful thing that is when it starts to open. And then your cup just fills with the right stuff. All right,
Exactly.
ladies, take
Okay.
care. Oh, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Wishing you
I hope you
all
all
wonders.
enjoyed. Carol, Lisa, everybody, Sarah, hello, darling. I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Namaste.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Adia.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.